Artanis, where do we have him?
So Artanis, much like Karax, he can instant expand with just you send your trucks into the expansion and you drop Archons from the sky and you fast expand. You and your ally get a fast expansion because of that. He also can use basically a similar trick for the first few presents because early game, as long as you have healthy Spear of Doom starting energy mastery, your early game is going to be carried by Archons dropping from the sky and carrying everything. Past that, you can just make a big blob of Dragoons. Dragoons have their shield regeneration in combat, which more or less nullifies the Blizzard's damage. So when you get caught in them, it's just more like getting caught in a slowing zone than an actual damaging zone. You can just mass those Dragoons without having to worry about naughty list because, well, it's just a big ball of
they're Dragoons.
low. Yeah, it's Dragoons.
All right. Letter.
S.
S. How about you, Herman?
I saw. Okay. Artanis.
Also, I believe the power fields can claim gifts.
Nice. But why would you want to do that?
Just in case you need to like stall the gift because your army can't get there yet.
All right. So how about you, Herman?
Like you have to use like first two Archon drops like really early, so I don't know if the energy will become an issue during like the minute mark. I'm not sure. But I mean, losing Guardian Shell is fine for Artanis Dragoons. Yeah. Do we need to plan like any do we need to just plan to use our shield overcharge or we just like when we attack when we F2 a move and we just use an shield overcharge on our units? Yeah, I'm just worried about the energy if it's enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so shield overcharge is only 25 energy with P3,
Yeah.
remember? So that is
90 seconds.
Yeah. So the first gift only spawns at like 3 minutes, and then after that it's every 2 minutes that a gift spawns, which means that basically the first two gifts and the first area you can clear with just Archons, but then the first wave might be a little awkward if you're just using Archons for that. You'll probably have to use a shield overcharge for the first wave, and then past that we're looking at you've already gotten a fast expand. This is the third gift, so Amon's claiming it automatically anyways, and you should have a big ball of Dragoons.
A big ball.
Or actually, wait, no. The second gift, you already have Solar Bombardment by then, so you can just use Solar Bombardment for that gift. That's what I was like. I was thinking like I'm forgetting something. Yeah, you can just Solar Bombardment that gift. So you shouldn't have huge energy problems now, as long as it's like you're not like just using Archons on a base for no reason. Just like, I don't need energy. Shoot that base. As long as you use it on fast expanding the first set of constructs and then use it on waves and presence and whatnot, you shouldn't run low on energy until after you've had plenty of time to make a nice big healthy ball of Dragoons. And then past that point, if you're worried about energy, you can use Shield Overcharge instead of Archon dudes, and Shield Overcharge makes your units really bad at dying.
Okay, yeah, I think he can be S tier. Yeah.
I actually had him in A, actually I had him in B, not because of the shield, not because of the energy thing, but because of how big your blob of Dragoons can get, and fitting everything through a narrow ramp with blizzards on seems very annoying to play. And if you have to use shield overcharge for the first wave, I'm not sure that's S worthy. Maybe I'm wrong here.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's just that you can to save energy instead of using Archons for the first wave.
It sounds okay. Sounds a bit dicey, but if you guys both say S, I'm okay with S. saying that I
So
personally
is
had him
there
in
any
B.
like is there a potential problem? So like you want to go like fast expand, but your ally just AFK and like they don't
Yeah,
move their truck. Like what about that? I never
your ally
I never
has to
have that problem,
cooperate
but I
if
was
you
just
want to
thinking
do
about
that.
yeah.
That
It probably just not fast
that's a good point.
expanding.
You might
Yes, there is
waste your.
that problem. In which case, you don't get to fast expand, but
Yeah, which means we don't have.
well, you save energy for another wave of Archons so that you can make up for the fact that you're going to be slower macroing because your ally was stubborn and uncooperative.
I still think he's A at best. I don't think he's quite S this week. There are weeks where I do think he's S, not this one. Maybe, but again, if both of you say S, I'll have to defer. Right? S, both of you?
I would say yeah. He should have like literally he meets the requirement we had of early game and relatively he's relatively capable of getting on those presents early game really easily and not having to worry about a hero unit that's going to accumulate a bunch of kills because it's a different set of Archons each time. And seriously, the fact that Dragoons can just walk through blizzards and fight through blizzards and not actually
Walk
care that
more
much.
like crawl through blizzards.
They
I have a
crawl,
question.
but they
I have a
they
question.
can fight
So
through blizzards.
you know, like what we already talking about. So like the gifts will spawn on weird locations. So like we can't use I mean we can't use every what's that called? Every Archon drop on every gift, right? So like if a gift spawns at like a north, like wait, not north, like southeast, but like we are still attacking the base on the on the west. So we just gonna split our army to go to claim that gift, or we just give it to Amon. Yeah, like I'm worried about the multitask stuff. Yeah, for Artanis.
Honestly, once you get to later on in the game and like the early game pressure is off, you can either use Archons for those gifts and it will actually be fine because the gifts don't spawn that frequently until like really late in the game is when they speed up on their DPS or not DPS spawns per minute.
If you do that, I'm afraid you might run out of energy if you use that on the later waves. I don't think you'd have enough energy for that.
Nah, it's you'd save it for the gifts because you don't need it for the attack waves once you have maxed out Ball of Dragoons.
Is there another problem? It might not be in the game, but you know, Amon will claim gifts. But what if there is a killbot from the gift? Like we just gonna feed probes.
Yeah, you have to feed probes. But most commanders
If
have to deal with
Amon
that.
gets going nuclear, your Dragoons might all die in the same spot because
that's like
they're going through a
small
blizzard.
possibility.
It's small.
It's really small.
It's
Yeah.
a tiny possibility. The killbot is also a tiny possibility. Transmutation is also a tiny possibility, but they all add up.
Transmutation is seriously not a problem at all, honestly.
Shield overcharge counters that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the slowness of how you proceed through those blizzards, you might not get into a proper concave to fight the.
You'll still be able to avoid
and
blizzards
by the
for the most
time
part. It's just that if Dragoons on the edge of your Dragoon ball get caught in blizzards, you don't care because they don't die of that.
And by the time your Dragoons make it through the blizzard, shield overcharge is worn off.
38 seconds.
Why are you intentionally waiting for a blizzard? Is all I can say because like
they're everywhere. I'm not intentionally. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, but they aren't that everywhere.
Your Dragoon ball is so massive that some of it will inevitably get caught.
You're overstating how massive the Dragoon ball is. Last time we got in this argument, I literally demonstrated how easily Dragoon balls could fit through areas.
Wait. How easily someone like you can make Dragoon balls fit through everything in tiny spaces.
I even made someone else actually execute it. Dragoon balls are not... They're the same size as Stalker balls.
Yeah, and Stalker balls are terrible.
What about Ravage balls? Yeah.
They're only about, like... No, how do they compare to a marine ball? It's only like double-ish the area.
I still remember your Artanis run on that void launch map where your army is quote unquote in energy, or rather in bank. I wasn't that thrilled with the result. You did win it,
That's
yes.
a
but
completely different strategy, though. You would never want to use that build on this. Well, you actually not never. That could be a good build to use on this mutation, but that's not the easy build to use on this mutation. The easy build to use on this mutation is just max out on dragoons, not sit on 6K minerals.
Again,
K gas.
if both of
12
you
gateways.
if both of you say Artanis is an S, we'll put him in S. But I won't use Artanis here. If someone asks me for help, I won't use Artanis.
Yeah, you won't use Artanis on most things unless it's Slice of Amon. Literally, that's the only time that you do.
Yeah. So, do you both say S? Herman.
Well, why is it always me for the
Because
last decision?
Sticksbender says yes, I say B. And I said that if both of you say S, I'll defer. I'll change my vote to S. Because both of you say it.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm kind of hesitating. Like, if we waste all the energy on attack waves and more attack waves for the goods, just we use the Archon drops for that. Yeah, because I didn't play this mutation by using Artanis for myself.
All
so
right. So here's
I can't say anything. So.
Here's how it will
yeah.
work. Sticksbender, have you soloed this as Artanis? Because if you have, then that makes you the only actual authority on this mutation as Artanis, and that makes my vote and Herman's vote almost irrelevant. So have you soloed this as Artanis?
I think someone else might have done it before me, and I decided not to bother redoing it.
Is that a yes or a no?
That would be a. I don't think so.
All right.
I remember doing it with Warzone. I don't remember doing it for Artanis.
Okay.
All right. Herman, are you okay with S?
Fine. I'm fine.
All right. So both of you are okay with S. Let's have an S. So we have three guys in S: Artanis, Dahaka, and Zeratul, and we have Abathur, Arcturus, Phoenix, and Carax in A. Do one of the guys in A deserve to be promoted to S? Or does someone in S deserve to be promoted or demoted to A? Is that really how it looks like?
I think that's how it looks like, only we just have to reorder them inside their tiers. But I actually think that's how it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe an argument for like Carax S, I would think, but that's it.
All right. So who's top of S? Dahaka, right?
Dahaka easily, not even close.
Oh.
And then
I'd say then Artanis, just above Zeratul.
Artanis?
Right?
I think we're way overvaluing Artanis here.
Instant expand.
Zeratul can also fast expand. Zoria Legion.
No, he
Yes,
can't.
he can.
No.
I've done it before.
Well, you can. Kind of, but it's not.
It's not instant, but it's still fast expand.
You can, but do you need the mastery for the Legion cost?
Well, you only have to wait for like half a minute, but yeah, you want the mastery to get a faster expand, but technically you can wait for 800 and still do it.
You can also get a Blizzard that just decides to summon on top of your Zoria Legion.
It doesn't summon on top. It starts from the left, floats to the right.
Yeah, it starts from the left, and the Zoria Legion is bad at dodging because you can't move command.
I don't think it gets there fast enough.
I'm pretty sure it's there before you've got your Zoria Legion, but that's yeah.
When do you use the Zoria Legion?
You can reasonably fast expand with Zeratul, but
all I'm saying is the fast expand for Artanis is not an argument to put him over Zeratul. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
Zeratul can also do that.
early game control is like the first present is like a big deal, and it spawns before Zeratul spawns the hero unit. So right there, the fact that Artanis can just say, "I have Archons, I get the first present," whereas Zeratul, I'm not sure you can easily get the first present. You will basically need a Legendary Legion to get the first present, and
Or you could stall it. I don't know.
stall it. How? With what?
I don't know. Maybe run an ambusher there, draw the guys away, just
But what
pause
about
the timer.
if
Your
they are
ambusher's gonna. I think your ambusher's gonna die, and that's also you're gonna have to rush an
like
ambusher, which means
virtual?
you're planning to use a Legendary Legion and expand, and also have an ambusher, which doesn't have blink, by the way, so it's probably going to sacrifice itself to stall this present, and you're going to probably need 2 of them to at least to stall it long enough for Zeratul to spawn. This sounds like a very complicated early game. I
don't know.
think what's more
That's-
realistic is that Zeratul probably either chooses between fast expanding or getting the first present.
But if that's the
At which
only
point
reason
first.
we're putting Artanis above Zeratul, yeah, yes, the first gift is important, but it
Oh, well,
seems
once
a
you get
lot
Evolved Dragoons,
safer.
it's also,
It's-
Evolved Dragoons is also like one of the best armies you can have on this mutation across all commanders because of the whole not dying to Blizzard thing.
You know what else doesn't die to
Good.
blizzards? Cannons.
I just think of
kind of.
I just think of a thing for Zeratul. If you don't trap the artifact and you have a lot of queues on Zeratul himself, and when you try to get another artifact from an enemy base, maybe you haven't find it yet, you will die.
Yeah, if you don't trap the artifact, you're not getting artifacts that spawn in the enemy base until you clear that whole base without Zeratul. That's gonna be a pain. That's true. I didn't even think of that, but that's a big problem. So basically, you have to know how to have to know how to track the artifact to even use P2 Zeratul here. Even the third artifact might be a problem. That's pretty bad. That's actually a pretty.
It doesn't always. There are a lot of dead spaces on Cradle of Death. It doesn't always spawn inside enemy bases.
It just has to spawn in an enemy base once.
No, it's always spawning enemy base.
And it's more likely to spawn the enemy base too. It's like that like yeah, there's a lot of dead spaces. So great, you've got what, a 20% chance of not being toast. Wow, great. So S tier, much wow. I think that you can survive even with the fact that you'll be having a really hard time getting artifacts. I mean, Zeratul survives on darkness mutations just fine. But yeah, if you don't trap the artifact, you're gonna have a pretty rough time with the fact there. And I don't know how to track the artifact, so I'm sure that there's a lot of people who don't know how.
It's just the first construct, yeah. Under his feet, yeah.
Yeah, it's under the first. It's the construct in the middle of the 2 bases.
Yes.
Just walk your truck over there, put the trap under his feet. But then you also have to clear that construct, because otherwise you're gonna need both trucks to expand. Oh boy. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I'm not terribly sold.
Stalker to kill it, yeah.
I am not sold on Zeratul's early game. I'm not sold on his long-term plans with the whole artifact thing.
Yeah, the first.
I'm not sold on Artanis' late game, to be honest, because for defense, when you don't have Dragoons at home where they're out of the map, what are you going to use to defend? More Archon dudes?
Well, firstly, the biggest thing is the waves are not that frequent. The biggest reason defending is a pain on this map is because of the truck wave. So if the trucks are in your army, you will discover that defending is a lot easier than you think it is when you don't usually have your trucks with your army. Because I know a lot of people will have their trucks not with their army and be like, man, I have to go back to defend a wave every 30 seconds. This is incredibly painful.
Yes, I know that the actual attack waves are infrequent on this map, but you only need one of them to hit your mineral line, and then you're gonna have a bad day.
They're frequent enough that you literally you generate more Archon dudes than Amon generates attack waves. So if you're
using way too many Archon dudes, you won't have energy for shield overcharge. I think we're way overvaluing Artanis.
Yeah, you can literally. Also, if you assume that every single attack wave without fail, you have to defend it all by yourself, and you have to defend it with your Dragoons not at home, because your ally is not there, you're soloing, but also you don't ever have, you're not organized enough to have your Dragoons ever at home to defend the wave, then you still have Archon dudes for every single wave, and you will have enough energy for occasionally a shield overcharge.
But with Zeratul, you don't need to have
soloing and doing a bad job of it.
But with Zeratul, you don't need to worry about stuff at home because your cans are always at home.
Your cans are always at home, but then you'll have to cancel all the shades so they don't die to the attack wave. Also, your cannons
usually your cannons are on cool. The projectors usually on cooldown. They're usually available to defend at home.
So we're saying we're usually on cooldown is fine for Zeratul, but this sounds like extreme bias.
No. What I'm saying is the projection is usually on cooldown, which means the cannon sitting in the base ready to defend. I'm not saying that you always have available charges of something that you're saving up energy for, because you always want to use your energy for the shield overcharge for Artanis. And when each time you use it on Archon, it's 50. And each time you use those 50, it's less 25s for those shield overcharges.
Oh my god, so you don't even need the shield overcharges to clear bases on this map.
Okay, so we don't need shield overcharge. Okay, if you're saying that we don't need shield overcharge, then can I see it? Have you done it? With Blizzard.
With no shield overcharge? No. My point is that you don't need a shield overcharge for every little thing. Like, basically, you strongly want shield overcharge for like the third base and the fourth base. Second base, it depends on how many Dragoons you've massed up before you start going.
Okay, so you
probably want to use shield overcharge to make it easier for yourself, though, because I don't trust other people to have heavy Dragoon micro. So shield overcharge is basically what compensates for the fact that not everyone's going to be doing like heavy Dragoon micro. You don't need a shield overcharge for every little thing. Is basically what I'm saying. Like one shield overcharge per base. So there's 3 bases because the first one's getting destroyed by Archon dudes. 3 shield overcharges should be enough. Maybe you'll want to use a 4th one because like the 4th base can be a big base and you might end up taking 2 stabs at it. If your dudes are at home, you use shield overcharge instead of Archon dudes to defend with your units. If you are if you're worried about energy, you can always just have like, especially if it's an enemy comp that like is vulnerable to storm, you can just get a Templar Archives and warp in like 6 Zealots and 4 High Templar, and that's the wave defended. 0 energy. Just like that.
All right. If you're so insistent on the thing is, the only thing that's constantly on my mind is whenever people comment on the tier lists, they say you, and I always read it, so it's always addressed to me, and I can't really defend putting Artanis so high up in S, and then having people spam the comment section. Why is Artanis so high? I can't defend Artanis that high. It's just I
haven't seen Artanis be the one that people complain about that often when reading the comments,
but the fact remains, I read every single comment, and usually I'm able to defend someone being high or low, but like this is completely out of my hands. Is what I'm saying. I'm completely unable to defend Artanis being this high. Because I just don't believe it. I just don't believe that his Dragoons are that good to be in S. I believe they're good enough to be in A, but not S.
I don't know. I still hold to he's better than Zeratul, especially with the realization of how like you have to trap the artifact or you're going to run into problems.
You're going to have to know how to manage your Spear of Energy or you're going to run into problems.
I think the problems are, I think that having to know how to trap the artifact is a much bigger requirement, because that's like literally basically that's like how to use a complex exploit versus not spamming top bar randomly. And let's be honest, the more common problem is people running into. So you didn't use your top bar for the first 15 minutes of the game. Why?
That's true. That's true. And I guess one thing that Artanis has going for him is that Soul Bombardment requires almost no skill to use. Just point and click. It clears a big base for you. Which is quite...
I've been doing this math of like trying to figure out how many Archon dudes you have, while assuming that Solar Bombardment doesn't exist.
Yeah, Soul Bombardment is,
so
I think, a better reason to put Artanis in S. I just don't wanna justify with Drake. I'd rather justify with Soul Bombardment because it's like a risk-free immobilization wave that gathers no Nautilus stacks for you.
Although realistically, you probably want to use Soul Bombardment on wave defense.
Wave defense?
For offense, Archons are better than Solar Bombardment. For wave defense, Solar Bombardment is better than Archons.
So we save Solar Bombardment for waves? That's a novel concept to me. I usually use it on offense.
No, Solar Bombardment is definitely better for waves. It's all the damage is concentrated near the middle in a relatively small area, so the nice clumped up wave coming up the ramp just gets utterly vaporized. But if you just fired at the enemy base, you kind of like you vaporize whatever's in the middle of it and then tickle everything around that.
Sorry, Herman, what was that?
If you use Solar Bombardment in for offense, it's probably just kill like some structures and the construct maybe. Yeah,
it's not very good to use offensively.
So
in general, Solar Bombardment is only a good offensive tool if you're sniping an objective. It's a good at smiting one single structure in the middle of it or killing waves. It's a pretty poor offensive tool outside of that. You use it for defense of giant waves, not for clearing bases.
All right, so both of you say Artanis is second best commander, second in S.
Can we just say that if we don't use Zeratul to kill a lot of unit, or we get a gift for like Nautilus wipe out, like so your Zeratul won't be that fragile. It's probably better if you don't have the artifact, and so that you can find the artifact and get it.
Yeah, if you clear the Nautilus on Zeratul, that can solve a lot of the problems. Because the big problem is that like your early game is a bit dependent on Zeratul killing stuff, but
yeah, that's true.
It's really awkward if it's like you have to carefully meter the amount you're killing of Zeratul in the early game, but it's possible.
Okay.
So what do we do?
Trapping the artifact is the easiest solution now for Zeratul.
Can we call a tie? Like one of it is better in late game, but one of it is good on early game and it can fast expand. Yeah.
Well, like I said, both of them can fast expand.
If your ally, yeah, that's true. If your ally
cooperates.
But if you fast expand as Zeratul, you're basically giving up the first gift.
Kind of, yeah. Agreed on that.
Which is really bad, because next you're gonna go like you give up the first gift and Amon's gift 50 banelings.
That's a very situational thing. Sometimes it's overcharged
I have on my mind the fact that I did my Vorazun solo of this and I rolled banelings like 3 times.
Yikes.
That mutation.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, it's
I got it when I was playing the Haka. I got 50 banelings, and I said.
The only thing I rolled more than banelings was good news. Your gift is a Chrono Wave.
That's useful That's useful for a lot of commanders, though. The Chrono is useful for a lot of commanders.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got
not so much for
when I got the 50 banelings all rolling toward my base, I just said, "Hey, meet the Krun. Buy banelings." The Krun's not even like half health after the base or after the attack. He was like completely shrugged it off.
Fun fact: so the solo we have with Artanis is won by Enkelgon, and the first gift that Amon got was banelings, and he ended up deciding to use a shield overcharge for it, and it took 3 zealots.
3 zealots. That's crazy.
No more banelings.
That's
shield
crazy.
overcharge is crazy. Shield overcharge is really good.
50 banelings, 3 zealots. That's incredible. Was that with? Wait, no. I don't think there's any upgrades. Yeah, it's character sentinels that revive. Anyway. So, all right. So, Okay, we can call it a tie between Artanis and Zeratul. If both of you agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's no need for me. If it's a tie, it's a tie. Who's top of A?
Probably Karax.
Carax?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, Carex.
Karax is just like bad Artanis.
Sure. And then who's next?
The next three are close. That's actually hard.
I think it's Abathur.
Probably not Minsk.
I think it's got to be Abathur. Because of the
Abathur.
biomass
Abathur.
thing. Yeah.
Biomass.
Right. Yeah, the biomass thing. Yeah, the biomass thing is really good. I almost forgot about that. Yes.
Does that put him over Carax?
It might.
Might.
It might. Honestly.
What do you
Like,
think,
that's,
Herman?
it's yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd say top of A. Honestly, Abathur is.
Abathur,
like,
top of A? All right. And then...
Biomass is biomass being able to stall gifts forever is really good.
And if you get an Archangel, you forge sand.
Oh yeah, Archangel with 100 biomass, and then you get Avenger on it. My god, I've had that once on the original Violent Knight. It was awesome.
Tasty.
It was amazing.
The ultimate murder machine.
And then so it's Abathur, Carax, Phoenix, Arcturus. Or Arcturus, Phoenix.
I think Arcturus is the bottom. Honestly, like there actually, when we originally brought up the biomass thing on Abathur, there was a piece of me that wanted to put him in S, and it's like I almost wonder if Abathur's on par with Zeratul because of the fact that he could do that. But I'm not 100% certain on him being able to reliably get the biomass there because he still has to actually manage to kill something.
It's not hard to kill something if you deep tunnel a Brutalisk there. If the Brutalisk doesn't do it, the Symbiote will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I was asking: do we demote someone or do we promote someone to S? Because I was thinking of the biomass thing.
When you asked that, I blanked on the whole Abathur biomass exploit thing, which isn't even really an exploit that you have to apply. Like Zeratul's artifact trapping is an exploit. You have to look up how to do it. This is just it happens. Biomass does it.
Yeah, but the trick part there is not the fact that you deep tunnel to the gift. The trick part there is to deep tunnel out after you've killed something, so that you don't stack naughty lists on your Brutalisk. That's the trick part.
Yeah.
And you just use Swarm Host for everything else.
Swarm host for everything else. That'll work perfectly.
Isn't that really, really, really slow?
Yes, true. That's true.
Yeah.
I would probably just transition into Sky Abathur, but
Yeah,
that's just
Sky
That'll
Abathur.
also work. You'll also have Vipers, so you can just put your... Yeah, Vipers are probably more devastating than
another
Blizzards.
reason that I like the biomass thing is the fact that it's like then you get like 6 gifts that are built up with biomass, and you can claim all 6 gifts, and Amon doesn't steal a single one.
Yes.
So take that, Amon.
Yeah.
Like everyone who's all those other commanders claiming gifts, and then Amon steals the third one. Abathur just stalls all the gifts, and Amon never gets one.
Yeah. That's why Adahak is top of S. Because of the S and Sting.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? We could promote Abathur to S.
Do you agree, Herman?
Yes. So where is Abathur gonna be?
I don't want to debate Abathur,
Probably bottom of
Artanis.
S. He would stick him.
Zeratul
We'd keep him on the bottom of S. He
Alright,
just got promoted.
I'm okay.
From A.
I'm okay with bottom of
Okay.
S. All right, there
He
we
got
go.
promoted from
You
A.
gotta,
so
you gotta
he's-
do a test to check if the biomass thing actually works. Yeah, we need to check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
just-
Abathur's going down into like B.
Yeah. I just
that's not how it
I usually just take 2/2's word for it. He said it works, so I believe him.
Yeah.
And it works
I'm
in
not saying
essence.
Q2 is not trustworthy. I'm just saying that because I like our community, like all the, I mean, a lot of people, like almost 99% of all co-op players never realize it and never use it. Yeah. So yeah, we need to check it.
We can
Yes.
test it now if you want. I can pause the recording. We can test it now.
Can we
Hey.
just finish the video? First?
All right. Hey,
Uh,
Zeus, cut this part out. The part about the testing. We'll just add a note later if it doesn't work. If it does work, just cut the whole
So
discussion about the testing altogether. They'll just believe us. Yeah, they'll believe us. Then for A, it's Carax, Phoenix, and Arcturus. For B, who's top of B? Stat Boy? Stetboy, Nova, Alarak, Stukov, Vorazun.
Vorazun I think is above Alarak.
Above Alarak?
Because so here's my reasoning for saying that. Alarak's just massing stalkers, and Vorazun could also mass stalkers, and her stalkers would arguably be better suited because of the fact that
They recharge shields.
and also the whole like basically they can just blink around the blizzards.
I think I would put...
Alarak stalkers are just stronger, but basically Vorazun stalkers are similar to Alarak stalkers, but then Vorazun is better off going DTs than stalkers, whereas Alarak has no better alternative to stalkers.
True.
So if Vorazun has an alternative that's better than stalkers, and Alarak is just stuck with stalkers as his best alternative, that I think would make Vorazun slightly better than Alarak. That's my reason.
I was just asking who's top of B. Who's top of B?
Well, top of B should be
Nova.
Stetboy or Nova.
Stetboy or Nova? I can accept either of them. Yeah, I can accept either of them. Nova can airlift guys out of there.
Nova is AI dependent, but Stetboy is not, right? Stetboy is not.
I think Stukov is better than Stetman, by the way.
You think Stukov is better? On what basis?
Oh, on the basis of, you see, for actually clearing the bases around the constructs, Stetman's only option is to just send more Roach Ravager at it and hope that they don't get caught in a blizzard or something, and then that's your solution. You just keep trickling at it until it hopefully works. Stukov drops top bar on the base. You will get the objective. You don't have to worry about blizzard RNG or anything. It is reliable to get that objective with your top bar smash. Whereas Stetman, it's not like you can just run Gary in there because he's going to have a long Nautilus and he's just going to get one shot. So basically, my basis for putting Stukov above Stetman is the reliability with which he can actually get the objective pads cleared and the trucks on those pads when he goes for the base.
Infestors are better at sending things at multiple places at once, though. You can send some at one gift, send some at another gift, send some to defend the attack wave, send some to clear out the base.
That's true, although if you send in multiple places at once, you might run into the problem of and then this one group got caught in a blizzard, and that means that now you've got nothing going in that direction.
Next wave.
Now you have a problem. Yeah, but by the time you send the next wave, Gabenon's already gotten the gift.
I just have a single question.
You're right. I will agree with that he is better at going in multiple directions.
If we use P1 Stetboy, will the stat lines keep stop Amon claiming the gift?
I think the fact that they're invulnerable means they can't claim the gift anymore.
I think that's.
Wait a second. Can deactivated Stetellites claim gifts?
I'm also thinking of
that's something we have to test.
Another thing.
If they can, that's instantly oh, wait a second, Stetman's amazing.
Can we test that now?
Oh boy. Okay.
All right, we've done the test. It turns out that disabled Stetellites and Abathur's biomass both prevent capture of the gifts, and you've already seen my video. Daka's essence does prevent the capture, so that's all three confirmed. So with that, is Stetboy top of B, or is he due for A?
Stetman's A. That's big. That's big.
That's big. Yeah, just preventing the gifts from being a thing. All right, bottom of A, right?
Here.
Okay, is he good enough to be top of A? Let's slow down there. Is he top of A?
I'm not sure he's even top of A.
Yeah.
He's.
Is he better than Arcturus?
Wait. Oh, okay. So
almost certainly.
They
have the same problem. They're both slow.
Here because of the first gift. The first gift, your Gary haven't spawned yet.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you put your stat in the wrong way, you probably cannot get the first gift.
True. That's true.
The only way you would get the first gift is probably by saying, you know what, I'ma do a Zagara and rush Baneling Nest.
Or if you happen to fly your Overlord in a lucky direction.
Wait. You can just borrow a Zergling. Right?
I think that might work, but
it will work.
From my experience, the gift is usually in a place that you have to pass by enemy camps for. But as I was saying, you can probably have an Overlord there, kind of stall until Gary's ready or something. Something
Yeah,
like
heavy
that.
Gurizo off.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so is that boy between Phoenix and Arcturus?
I think that's where he'd belong. Yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
yes. He is Artanis, yes.
All right. So for top of B, it's now
Carriers continue to be good.
carriers continue to be good. For B, is Nova top of B now,
Yes,
followed by Stukov,
I'd say Stukov next. Yeah.
and then Vorzun, then Alarak.
And Alright.
Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe I'd put Stukov below the Borzun. Yeah, I
Below
think I'd
the
put
Borzun.
Stukov at the bottom of B. Actually,
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
the added multitasking required by gifts is a problem.
The only thing
Um,
that the only reason that Vorzun needs to be better than Alarak or anyone else is when you time stop, you can essentially snipe the base. You can essentially kill the base with your shot,
Yeah.
especially in the
Yeah.
And
early
you can
game.
kill the base with free units.
Free units, exactly.
I just have a quick question. So for Warzone anti-air, we use stalkers or Corsairs for here.
I use Stalkers. You could use Corsairs if it's an air comp, but
If you
I
get
would
everything
probably
is
mass
free, you
Stalkers
can
personally.
get Void Raid.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you right now. My Vorzun soul. You could take a look at it. It was incredibly inhumane. Literally, it was so inhumane that the actual mutation sheet that has all the mutation souls compiled put a note on it for DT inhumanity.
That's inhumane. All right, let's
Yeah, that's
let's
pretty
move on. Who's top of C? Kerrigan? Is Kerrigan top of C? Because she still
Zagara?
has a big red button. Zagara's top of C.
Half a Brutalisk is a big
If you
deal.
can micro well, Zagara can be high, can be the top of D tier, C tier.
I mean, yeah, your Baneling nest will get you early Banelings, which you can use
That'll
to
work,
work
yeah.
on that first gift.
That'll work.
Which,
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
okay
that one,
with
Zagara.
either of them. Kerrigan, Zagara, they can both go top of C. I'll just do.
I'd put Kerrigan right after Zagara personally.
What do you think, Herman? Are you okay with Zagara higher than Kerrigan?
Yes, yes.
All right. Then who's next? Rainer? Or Tychus?
Tychus.
Yeah, Tychus.
Tychus. and
Actually,
then
Tychus might.
two marine guy. Yeah.
Actually, I might put Tychus over Kerrigan because he still has a big red button and that kills buildings, and he still has turrets.
The immobilization wave is a bigger AoE than the big red button, and on this map, most of the defenses are things that die to the immobilization wave. So,
All right.
I would
so-
note, I would highly recommend P3 Kerrigan here. I think because
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
because that way Kerrigan doesn't have to like get up close and personal to deal her damage. So even if her Nautilus gets long, Kinetic Blast still outranges literally except for siege tanks. But siege tanks get one shot by immobilization wave. So
So
Yeah,
we
and
literally
have.
also-
just P3 immobilization wave. The only thing that's left is a couple like capital ship stragglers, like a couple carriers or a couple Thors or Battlecruisers or whatever, and all those will be damaged enough that you just one shot them with Kinetic Blast, just pop, pop, pop.
All right. So we have Zagara, then Kerrigan, then Tychus, then Raynor, then Horner, because we were literally saying that Horner is worse Raynor, right?
Reapers are bad Marines. Horner's top bar is more useful for this mutation.
Oh, okay.
So
So
a tie. A tie.
a tie.
It's a tie. You
Yeah.
can put in whichever order.
All right.
We can put Horner above Raynor so they can at least feel good that they beat Raynor again because they need the moral boost because they're just so bad.
All right. And then Swan. Swan is a D. He's top of D though.
Swan is sad.
He's
He's
top
the
of D.
top of D. Whoa, good job, Swan.
He's also better than everyone in E and F combined. So, finally, do we have any synergies of guys B, C, and D that might be better than an S tier? Zagara's early game plus Vorzun's late game might do it. Because of that, or Zagara's Banelings plus Nova's
No.
nukes.
Nova's base clearing.
Yeah, Nova's
with
base clearing.
Stukov's base defense.
That'll work. Plus, I think Swan's base defense can have some merit to it because he can salvage the turrets. He can salvage turrets. Oh, Zagara's base defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zagara's base defense
Nova's
and Nova's
clearing with anyone who has competent base defense.
There we go.
Who can I defend will be work with Nova. Yeah.
There we go. So Nova plus someone with good defense.
Oh, also someone with base defense and preferably anti-airs in that base defense, especially
yeah,
anti-air is the important part. So probably not a Warzone for your base defense because then neither of you can shoot up.
Yeah, okay.
It's a pain.
So that is this week's tier list, guys. Watch Sticksbender and Herman's channels. I will link them down below, and I will see you guys next time. Also, I don't endorse Artanis being that high, but they say so, so I put them there.